Greetings to you and welcome to this episode of Grace Podcast. I'm Timothy Muse. I'll be your host as we spend this time together today. It's a joy to be with you. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for making this podcast a part of your day. And I want to thank you for being on this journey, for taking the time, the energy, putting it into you. Good for you. Good for you for doing this. Good for you for being here. It is a joy to come alongside you. It is a joy to be able to help, offer nuggets of wisdom, possibility, hope, guidance, experience, whatever it is that I can bring, whatever this podcast brings for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making it a part of your journey. And thank you for being on the journey. I'm so honored that you are allowing me to be here with you, but I'm really, really joyful that you're on the journey itself, that you are investing in you. It is such a powerful thing. It is how the world changes. When we change individually, we impact the community around us. We are communal people. So when we change individually, we impact the community around us. Good for you for taking that step, for investing in yourself, for loving yourself, for showing the world that you can show up better than you did the day before, that you can continue to grow and advance and expand in your own life. I'm so pleased that you are investing in yourself, that you are taking this time. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to this journey. Even if you're just beginning to ask the question, that is still a powerful thing. If you have been here before and you're coming back, thanks for coming back. Thanks for supporting it. Thanks for making this podcast a part of your routine and for bringing this information forward. If it is helpful, please share it out there. Put it out there on your social media feeds. I post on LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and Facebook. If you follow me or the life coaching on any one of those feeds, you're going to see these episodes come up. And if you are on one of the listening platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music, follow us, give us a rating and review. Every positive rating and review tells the platforms people are listening, and you'll get notifications when a new episode comes out. And if you want to reach out to me directly, GraceLifeCoaching.com. That's where you can get a hold of me. GraceLifeCoaching.com has all of my information, all of my contacts. It has all the things that I offer. So please reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. I really, truly would. So I'm going to spend this session today wrapping up our series on the power of friendship, the importance of friendship. We have, over the past episodes, we've explored how to build friendships, how to strengthen them, how to navigate challenges, and how to grow through relationships in our lives. Today, I want to take a kind of a step back and look at the bigger picture, building a friendship legacy. Because at the end of our lives, when it's all said and done, when we have traversed this globe to the point of our conclusion, that's what people talk about. People rarely talk about how busy we were. They rarely talk about how many tasks we completed. They rarely talk about our achievements alone. What they remember, what they talk about, is our relationships. I spend a great deal of time in my vocation dealing with and walking with people at the end of their lives and doing funerals and remembrances and celebrations of life. And that's what people talk about, the relationships, the people who walked with them, the people who showed up, the people who made life meaningful. And really, if we strip away all the things in our lives, the cars and the houses and the clothes and the busy schedules and everything else, when it boils down to it, our lives are most meaningful for the people who are in it, the relationships we have. We are relational people, and that's what really feeds our lives, those relationships. So building a friendship legacy, building a legacy of who you are. A friendship legacy is the impact your relationships leave behind. You know, it's not just about how many friends you had. It's about how you showed up in those friendships. It's about how you treated people, how you supported others, how you made people feel. When someone thinks about you years from now, what will they remember? What will they remember about you? What will they say about you? What will they think about you? What do they think about you when you're not with them? Will they remember encouragement? Will they remember consistency and kindness and loyalty? Or will they remember distance, disconnection, inconsistency? A friendship legacy is built through daily interactions over time. Small moments, small choices, and repeated consistency. That's how we build strong relationships. Now, you know, a lot of friendships we don't see every day. We don't get to communicate every day. But when they're in our hearts, our thoughts, when we have that consistency, that reaching out, showing up, that's what builds a legacy. You know, there's one theme that runs through every strong relationship, every strong friendship. Showing up matters. Showing up matters. Being present, being available, being consistent. In a world where people are often busy and distracted, presence becomes powerful. being able to show up and be there for people, showing that availability and that consistency, showing up for conversations, showing up for important moments. And we have this incredible world where we're separated. We have friends that are span across the globe, but we have this communication capability. We have the ability to reach out to people, to show up in important moments, to be there in different seasons. Like I said before, we all have seasons in our lives, and our friendships go through seasons. We have seasons, our friendships go through seasons, and being able to show up for people in those different seasons, to dwell with them, to encourage them when it's a low season, to celebrate with them when it's a high season, to motivate them when they're feeling low. When we show up consistently in all of those seasons of life, we build that legacy. In those moments, most people don't remember exactly what was said or exactly what was happened, but they remember the ones who were there. And that's what's important, being there, showing up. When we step back and we look at our relationships and we look at the viability in the long term, it's about showing up. Friendship has a ripple effect, my friends. The way you treat people influences how they treat others. The way you treat your friends influences how they treat other friends. Encouragement spreads. Kindness spreads. Support spreads. When you invest in someone's life, that impact often extends beyond what you can see. Remember, I talked before about we are shaped and influenced by the people around us, and we shape and influence the people around us. When we show up, that influence has a ripple effect. A word of encouragement can change someone's confidence, and that confidence then can change someone else. A moment of support can change someone's direction. When they thought that there was nothing left, that support can change their direction and send them in another way. A constant friendship can change someone's outlook in life. That's the ripple effect. That's how these things can change over time. Yes, it's just in that moment, but that moment can change moments. And that moment can change direction. And that moment can change how people view their lives. Your friendships matter, not just to you, but to the people connected to those relationships. That's why it's so important. That legacy, it's not just the point-to-point relationship. It's the relationships that span out from those relationships. We teach people how to love others by how we love them. We teach people how to show up by how we show up. Because strong friendships don't happen by accident. They're built through intentional investment. There's that word again, intentional. They're built through intentional investment. Time, energy, attention. These are the things that show intentional investment. And it doesn't have to be a huge amount of time, and it doesn't have to be a huge amount of energy or a huge amount of attention, but people want to know that they're seen. They want to know that they matter to those that matter to them. And so when friends show up for friends, that has an effect. It has an effect for them and for the people around them. This is about intentional investment. But without effort, every meaningful relationship can fade. Truly, it can. Whether it is a parent-child relationship, whether it is a spousal relationship, or whether it is a friend relationship. Intentional investment matters. It matters when we intentionally invest in someone else's life. It means reaching out. It means making time for connection, expressing appreciation, and being present. And like I've said before, no relationship is 50-50. It never really is. We did say, one of the pitfalls of friendship is if you're the one reaching out all the time, if there's not reciprocal and mutual, then it's not a strong friendship. You're just reaching out and the other isn't reciprocating. That needs to be questioned. But a strong intentional investment means reaching out, both sides. And sometimes when we want to build and increase relationships, we have to be the initiator. We can't wait for someone else to do it. We can't wait for someone else to be the pilot in our relationships and the pilot in our lives. If we reach out to someone and they don't reach out back, well, then that's the way it is. So be it. But if we reach out and they reach out, that's the intentional investment. Reaching out regularly. Hey, just thinking about you. Hey, just want to let you know that you matter. Making time for connection. Hey, let's schedule a time. Let's work out a time when we can chat. Maybe get together for a cup of coffee. Or if that's not possible because of the distance, then maybe do a Zoom chat or a phone call or a text chat. expressing appreciation. Hey, I really appreciate you in my life. Even though we don't get to spend a whole lot of time together, I think about you and you matter to me and I really appreciate you in my life. And being present. Those actions, even if they're small, even if they're momentary, strengthen relationships over time. They build over time. And that's where legacy is. At the end of it all, at the end of this whole walk that we've been doing about friendship, everything comes back to one central idea. The kind of friend you choose to be matters. That investment intentionality. You can't control every relationship in your life. You can't. You can't control how other people behave. But you can control how you show up. You can control how you show up in relationships. Coming back to all of it, the kind of friend that you choose to be matters. The kind of process you choose matters. You can show up. That's what you can control. There's a lot of things we can't control in life, but we can control us. You can choose to be the friend that you want to be. Reliable and encouraging, honest and present and supportive. You can choose that. You can choose that for other people. Now, again, if you're dealing with people who don't reciprocate that, then maybe you need to question the power of that relationship. Maybe you need to question what's going on. Be honest about it. But you get to choose who you want to be. You get to choose to be the friend you want to be, the relationship you want to have. These choices shape your friendships. They shape it. And over time, they're going to shape your legacy. That's what legacy is all about. What is remembered when it's all done? What are people going to say about you when they remember you? You had encouragement and you were honest and you were present and you were supportive and you were reliable. Over time, these things are going to shape your memory. They're going to shape your legacy. So think about the future. 10 years from now, what kind of relationships do you want to have? What kind of friends, what kind of circle do you want around you? What kind of friendships do you want to build? What is it in your life right now that is missing or empty or void that you want to build? And what kind of friend do you want to be remembered as? These questions help bring direction to your actions today. You know, we don't figure out who we want to be 10 years from now and wait for 10 years to get there. No, we want to figure out who we're going to be 10 years from now when we talk about friendships and relationships, and we start to build those things now. These questions bring direction to your actions today because friendships you build now are shaping your future. Relationships you build now are shaping your future. They're shaping who you are going to become, who you want to become, who you want to have in your circle, who you want to have in the next season of your life, who you want close to you and who you don't want close to you. So these are really important questions looking forward. Yes, we want to focus on the moment. It's always important to focus on where we are right now and the friends we have right now and the relationships we have right now. But where do we want those relationships to go? What do we want to build 10 years from now? So I want you to take some time to reflect. Who are the most important people in your life right now? Who matters most in your life right now? Now, yes, we have our spouses and our families, and that's great. And of course, they should bubble to the top of the list. But who's after that? Okay? When we're talking about friendships, who's after that? Who comes in the most important after you get through those vital core nuclear relationships? Family, spouses, kids, parents, siblings. Who are the most important people in your life right now? Are you investing in those relationships intentionally? And you know, maybe this has to lean more into family work because we are so disconnected as families. Are your siblings the most important people in your life right now? Are you investing in them? Are you investing in those relationships intentionally? Maybe you're waiting for your brother or your sister to reach out. And maybe your brother or sister is waiting for you to reach out. Maybe you haven't had a contact or you've been disconnected with your parents. And maybe you're waiting for them to reach out. Maybe they're waiting for you to reach out. You get to choose. If you want those relationships to be stronger, if you want friendships to be stronger, then you have to invest in those relationships intentionally. If there's hurt in those relationships and you want to heal them, you have to be the one to reach out. You have to be the one to initiate. And look, you're here because you want to be better. You're here because you want to grow. You're not here because you're bored. You're here because you want to take something and move it into the next stage of your life, the next season of your life, which means you need to be intentional about it. You need to be the one to take the intentional steps. Is it hard? Yes. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it scary? Yes. Does it create failure and anxiety? Absolutely it does. But so does any kind of change, any kind of growth. You want to build relationships. You are the initiator. You are the one that reaches out. What small action could strengthen those relationships this week? What small action could strengthen those friendships this week? And what kind of impact do you want to have on your relationships over time? That's the legacy. That's the build. That's the question. So here's an exercise for you. As we wrap up these sessions, this series on friendships, here's an exercise for you. Choose 3 relationships in your life. A couple of friendships, maybe a family relationship. Write down one way that you can invest in each one of those relationships this week. Write down one way. What can you do? What can you do to invest in those relationships this week? Maybe a conversation, a message. I mean, if you can be together, maybe a little time together. Then follow through. Consistency. Consistency and intentionality build legacies. Consistency and intentionality build relationships. This is how we grow. We are relational people, and we have these relationships in our lives that matter, but maybe they're not getting the energy that they need to get. So invest in them intentionally. Consistency builds legacy. Consistency over time builds stronger relationships. So that's your challenge. That's what I'd like you to do. Your challenge, is be intentional about your friendships moving forward. Your challenge is to don't leave them to chance. Be intentional about them. Don't assume they will grow without effort. Invest in them, and don't assume that they're going to reach out first. Maybe they're not where you are. Maybe they're caught in the mire of daily distraction or fear or anxiety. Maybe they're caught in disbelief or hurt. Don't assume that they will grow without effort, and don't assume that they will invest first. Invest in them. Take the chance. Look, here's the thing. If you look at it from this perspective, right now, if you have a relationship in your life that is maybe struggling or maybe disconnected, it's going to stay that way. If you reach out, maybe it'll get worse. Maybe you'll get some answers and some conclusions. Maybe they'll tell you to go pound salt. I don't ever want to talk to you again. At least you'll know. But more likely than not, that's not going to happen. More likely than not, whatever chasm might be there will start to be rebuilt. Whatever disconnect or distance might be there might be restored. But invest in it. Take that step. Be the courageous one in the process of your growth and reach out. Invest in them intentionally. Be the one who starts the process. And then once it starts, protect them. Protect those relationships and nurture those relationships, because the quality of your relationships, my friends, shapes the quality of your life. When you have strong relationships, you have a strong life. All the other things, the bank accounts and the house and the job and the busy schedules, yeah, they're all there. They're going to ebb and flow. But the quality of your relationships shapes the quality of your life, particularly in seasons when you need people. So be intentional about those relationships moving forward. Family relationships and friendship relationships. Look, as we conclude this series, as we wrap this up, I want you to hold on to something. Friendships, relationships are not just a part of life. They're not just a part of everything we do. They're one of the most meaningful parts of life. It's where support is found. It's where joy is shared. It's where growth happens. And it's where lasting impact is created. You may not remember every task you completed, but you will remember the people who walked alongside you, and they will remember you. So choose to be a friend who shows up. Choose to be a friend who encourages. Choose to be a friend who listens. Choose to be a friend who makes life better for others. Because in turn, they're going to make life better for you. And that's really what we're striving for, isn't it? A better life. That's what I got for you for today, my friends. If it is helpful, please share it out there. Put it out there on your feeds. Put it out there on your listening platforms. If you want to reach out to me, GraceLifeCoaching.com is the website. I truly would love to hear from you, because at Grace Life Coaching, we want you to be the best you.